Afghanistan President Ashraf Ghan, second right, stands with U.S. Army Gen. John W. Nicholson, right, during Saturday's ceremony at Kandahar Air Field. Massoud HossainiAP Kandahar, Afghanistan, with a just-delivered Black Hawk helicopter sitting on a military runway behind him. Gen. John W. Nicholson Jr., the top U.S. military commander in Afghanistan, vowed Saturday that a tidal wave of air power is on the horizon in the war against Taliban insurgents, and that this is the beginning of the end for the Taliban. Moments later, a second new Black Hawk descended and hovered motionless over the runway as Afghan President Ashraf Ghani praised the nation's Air Force pilots as the real champions of the 16-year conflict. Now that the country's Air Force capacity will be tripled under a new AfghanU military effort, and Afghan Special Operations Forces will be doubled, he declared, terrorists will not triumph here. The elaborately staged ceremony at Kandahar Air Base marked the formal launch of an ambitious plan to modernize and expand the Afghan Air Force over the next 5 years. A variety of U.S. military aircraft, including 159 UH-60 Black Hawks, are being supplied by the United States, and a new cohort of Afghan combat pilots are being trained, or retrained after years of flying Sovietera choppers, by American military and civilian advisors. The event was also aimed at reinforcing public support for the ongoing U.S. and NATO military mission here, following President Trump's announcement in August of a new, open-ended policy that would add several thousand U.S. troops, focus on ending the war rather than nation building, and follow the plan designed by Ghani and Nicholson to enable Afghanistan to defend itself within the next 5 years. "We are with you in this fight, and we will stay with you," Nicholson said, calling the war against terrorism the most important fight in the world. Brig. Gen. Philip Stewart, commander of the U.S. Air Advisory Mission, called the Black Hawks and other U.S.-supplied military aircraft on display a physical manifestation of international commitment to the war. A man talks on his phone near to a Black Hawk helicopter during Saturday's ceremony in Kandahar Air Field, Massoud HossainiAP, but the deployment of the iconic helicopters will be gradual, with only 6 expected to be in full use with Afghan pilots by the end of next year. Meanwhile, the war continues to rage and military commanders across the country have said that increased air combat support is their greatest need. Pilots need several years of training to fly the Black Hawks, a process that is just beginning, and repairs must be made by American contractors for now. American air instructors at the event said they had confidence in the skills and experience of the Afghan pilots they are instructing, and that they did not expect the transition to piloting new aircraft to be especially difficult. "I have been supremely impressed with the Afghan pilots," said Lt. Col. Trent Alexander, a senior air trainer. "They are absolutely up for this challenge. All of the Black Hawks being supplied to Afghanistan are from excess U.S. Army stocks, refurbished and updated before being sent here. The total average cost involved," one U.S. official said, "is between $7 and $8 million per aircraft." The Afghan Air Force currently uses Soviet-made Mi-17 helicopters, which are larger and less agile, on missions to evacuate wounded or dead soldiers, deliver supplies to conflict zones and provide air cover. Before the ceremony, a number of Afghan pilots said they were looking forward to the change. They described the Black Hawks as more modern, stable and smooth to handle than the Mi-17s. "They are more reliable and they fly easier," said Captain Mohammed Saqib, 32, a helicopter pilot with 4 years' experience. "We have a young generation that is ready to learn these skills, but what we want is to see this conflict finish in our country."